I want to speak to some of these things to let you know that no matter how troubled your home may be, there's always avenues that you can travel to escape that, and not necessarily the street. You have boys and girls clubs, you have park and recreation, you have all these things that you can travel into or get into without having to live a life of a street individual. Being that I've been here 28 years, I think, Kiki, you've been down 20 what years now?
Been down 19 since August 94.
And that's a life that now is trying to reach out to people before they have to sit in here for 19 years. I go home every night. 28 years is nothing, you know, because I go home after 8 to 16 hours. To live here 24/7, 19 years, I can only fathom what that means. But, you know, the politics to go with it, the things that go just to make prison as it is. And someone to reach out after serving that amount of time to let you know that you are important, that you do mean, and you do have a value. And that's what I want you to really understand. You do have a value. And it's not because you got a swoosh on your shirt or your pants or your shoes, or you have a name brand on you. You have a value as a person. And that's what I want everybody to see this video understand. You do have a value. How valuable you want to be is determined by you. And that's something that you have to determine for yourself, because when it comes down to it, nobody's going to take better care of you than you. So establish your value within you. I know I didn't come from the best of backgrounds. My father was alcoholic, so I could identify that with a lot of you. But at an early age, I determined to myself, I was not going to be an alcoholic. I was not going to utilize drugs. I was not going to do that. And I did. I lived my life without alcohol, without drugs. But then again, I was a jock too, so that came in handy. You don't have to be a jock to be successful either. Let me make that point perfectly clear. But make yourself valuable to you. If you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, dog catcher, whatever you may want to be, take whatever route you need to take to get there. And the way you're going to do that is to educate yourself. Read. I'm amazed. I'm in a prison of grown men who can't read. I'm really amazed. And I made sure that my son learned how to pick up a newspaper, use the index of that newspaper to find articles, to do this and that. He thought I was crazy, I guess you could say. But I did that for his betterment, for him to know how to look things up. And he got pretty good at it. He really did. I don't want to dominate this whole taping or whatever, but it's just things that I wanted to let the individuals, the young people out here who view this, that you are important. I want you to know that from me, and I want you to carry that in your heart, that you are important, not only to yourself, but to Officer Davis. You have a value to me. Now have that same value to yourself.
Since I've been here, I remember one day I came back from the hospital, and I knew this captain from Sidnella, and I had just came back from my surgery. I had sleep apnea, and they had did surgery on my nose and my throat. So I'm putting on my regular clothes. So he looked at my tattoos, and he was like, "Oh, so you Snoop Dogg homeboy, huh?" He was like, "Yeah, man, you got all them tattoos all on your body. I'm finna retire. So I'ma live good for the rest of my life. Everything I got, I worked for. My house, my car. What's your pension when you live the rest of your life? How many of your homeboys gonna take care of you?" And I just looked at him. I said, my homeboy got more money than all y'all put together. He said, but you ain't answered the question. He said, my pension, once I retire, I'm going to live good for the rest of my life. Everything that I have, I own it and I work for it. How is you going to live your life as you in jail? Is your homeboys taking care of you? And then it hit me really hard. And then one day I was going to the yard at the Mac Shack and I showed him my ID and it was like 4 polices right here and it was 2 walking up. And he said, hey man, all of us right here, we gonna take our SUVs and hook our boats up to them and we gonna go in the middle of the ocean and we gonna have our girls and we gonna barbecue and fish. And I turned around and said, dang. I was like, that's kicking it. And I said, man, that's something we never done. And it hit me. I said, so hold up. He said, yeah, man, I got a house, I got a boat, I got all kind of toys, motorcycle, this, that. And I said, working here? He said, yeah. He said, man, I can go right now and buy a brand new Benz off the lot. Police pull me over and I can show them my credit cards, who I am, and they gonna let me go. But see, when I was out there on the streets, if you a pimp, a gang member, or a drug dealer, whatever, the police, man, how you get all this? I mean, how can you explain that? You know, and it just a lot of things that how y'all work here and things y'all don't share with us, and the free people and the parents that lost their lives, they come in here and share things with us. It just made me change. Because I wouldn't have no desire to sit here with you on film and show this to the youth. I'll be worrying about how my homeboys think about me. But I don't care no more. I mean, I'm going to make sure no matter what, even as selfish as this sound, even if I lose my life, I'm going to make sure that I go all out to stop the violence, stop my violence, and make sure the youth don't follow the path I've done. And that's why I appreciate that you came over here and took time to sit here and do this footage, man, because I don't want the kids out there asleep to what's up, because it was a lot of people here, man. They was really concerned about your son, and we couldn't wait to see you, you know, so.
And I appreciate that there was an individual by the name of Nate that when I was walking down the walk to come to my job, he stopped me, gave me his condolences, and he said, Davis, I never ever thought of my victim's family. And he said, man, when it happened to you, I had to stop and look because I never had any contact with anybody who had lost somebody like that I really knew and cared about. And I said, well, thank you. I didn't know I had impacted your life like that. So he said he was going to reach out to the DA in his county to see if he can get in contact with his family and express that. As far as having this as a career, it is a lucrative career. I have to admit that it's one that you can afford your family to live a decent life. And it shows you that crime, in a sense, is ironic. Crime does pay, but it doesn't pay. It pays me, but it doesn't pay you during the time. And it pays me well, but, you know, with that comes a stigma. The separateness of officer and mate, and not the attachment of just being human beings. And in that instance, that people have to understand that corrections is misunderstood. You have to understand when prison is a situation to where you're arrested by street cops, you go to trial, and then you end up in prison. So we're like the last and final stop on the law enforcement chain. Yet people think that we are holding their people against their will, and we're doing all these things to them. And I laugh and when I explain my career to people, that I do not lock up anyone. I do not keep them in prison. It's their sentence that keeps them in prison, not me as an individual.